What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Black Men Unfiltered coming to you guys today. Listen, I had to stop what I was doing to come and speak to you guys today about the whole Meagan Good, DeVon Franklin situation. I know what you guys are thinking, coming from the manosphere and being a part of the manosphere, and how we talk about, how holding our women accountable on all fronts. Today, we're going to do it a little different. We're going to reverse it. DeVon Franklin, you're not a victim. And we're about to get into this. We're about to talk about this. DeVon Franklin is not a victim. We're not even going to look at DeVon Franklin as a victim. He's not a victim. We're not about to play the victim Olympics in this divorce, because it's a reason why DeVon Franklin filed for divorce, and those are his own reasons. But we all know on the outside looking in, sometimes you don't need anybody to tell you, because he's staying quiet about it. Meagan put up this post about it. And so we're not going to sit here and act like, that ain't nothing happened or ain't nothing went down. So the first thing I'm gonna put up here today, let's see, I'm gonna pull it up here for you guys so I can share the screen with you guys real quick. Hold on just a second. But yeah, I mean, he's playing. Eventually he's going to play the Victim Olympics. I mean, we all know that he's going to play the Victim Olympics eventually, especially when things start coming out. But this is the first thing that came out. About Meagan posted this on her Instagram. What did Meagan say here? Meagan says here, I don't know why it's doing that, but Meagan says on this post right here, let me go bring it back in. Let's see why it's doing that. All right, there we go. We might have it now. I want you guys to see this, man. So let me see. Share the screen with you guys. Oh, there we go. So in this post right here, as you can see, Meagan Good posted this, and she said, after much prayer and consideration, so she's speaking for both of them. She's speaking for both of them. She says, after much prayer and consideration, we have decided to go into our futures separately, but forever connected. We celebrate almost a decade of marriage together and a love that is eternal. But if it's eternal, why are you getting a divorce? No. Let's continue. There is no one at fault in a marriage. There's always somebody at fault. There is not. You can't say nothing happened to make this happen, because you guys would still be married. So she's contradicting herself throughout the whole post. She's saying here, after much prayer and consideration, we have decided So she's speaking for him. He hadn't even spoke about this, but I guess her publicist said, hey, we need to get out in front of this thing before it hits the fan. After much prayer and consideration, we have decided to go into our futures separately, but forever connected. So why do you want to continue to be connected to someone that you can't be in your marriage with? You're married to this man. You have an obligation as a wife, and he has an obligation as a husband to be in the marriage. Watch this. There's no abuse. There's no infidelity. Not yet. Nobody's spoken about that yet, but it may be something. It doesn't always have to be that, but it could be something else. So we're not going to put that on there until we get further information. However, we celebrate almost a decade of marriage. That's 10 years of marriage together, and a love that is eternal. There's no one at fault. We believe, speaking for them, for the couple again, we believe this is the next best chapter in the evolution of our love. So the only way that you guys can elevate to a more beautiful and more centric love is you have to divorce each other. Somebody in the chat, somebody share this video with somebody else and make this make sense. Make this make sense. Make this make sense for me. Somebody wrote this for her. Had to have been. You're in the business of writers. Somebody had to have written this. There's no one at fault. We believe this is the next best chapter in the evolution of our love. So your love for him is going to evolve because you guys divorced. Okay. We are incredibly grateful for the life-changing years we've spent together as husband and wife. So basically, if we're looking at it from a manosphere point of view, we're going to look at that line and say we are incredibly grateful for the life-changing years we spent together as a husband and wife. So in layman terms, thank you for putting me up on game. Thank you for changing my life and how people view me. Because before I became your wife, I was something else, and everybody knew that I was something else. Everybody knew I was for the streets before you came along. And when you came along, we ended up writing the book about being celibate until we got married. And basically, he cleaned your entire image up. So now let's talk about that. Her entire image was cleaned up. He came in with an eraser. He came in, dun, 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 let me save her. And he started cleaning her up, cleaning her image up. Because any woman that wants to get angry at this content right now, really go do your research first. Before Meagan became his wife, the pastor's wife, Meagan was something else. She was something else entirely. She was something else entirely. Something else entirely, guys. So again, let's go. So let's finish this up here. Let's finish this up. Let's get back to it. Let's get back to it. So we are also extremely thankful to God. Wait a minute. For the testimony being created inside us both and for blessing our lives with each other. So your testimony is, we thank God. Basically, we thank God for the divorce. We thank God. I thank God for allowing you to clean up my image. I thank God for allowing you to create a testimony in me, because now Meagan's going to be very sought after by men, by movies, by TV shows. She's going to be sought after to write a book. She's going to come up off of this divorce to compensate what she's going to miss with him. Because if we look at their yearly income, he's making twice as much as she's making. So this is a come up for her. But again, we're not here to talk about Meagan today. We're here to talk about Pastor, the bishop here, Mr. Franklin, Pastor Franklin here. And so that's that. Now let me get back to what I'm saying. All of that is good and dandy, Meagan. I am not at all blaming Meagan for anything. I'm not blaming Meagan for nothing. Nothing. Zero. Zilch. Nothing. Because he knew what he was getting into before he married her. He knew what kind of woman she was, and he looked at her as a project. And I was on a platform the other night, Sir Hell Speaks. So speaking to Sir Hell Speaks, guys, you got to go subscribe to his page. He's a very, very intellectual black man, and he speaks on the truth as well. And we talked about that. We talked about him finding Meagan, and he thought he could fix her. And when he began to try to fix her over the few years, it's like a car. It was like an antique car. When you buy an antique car from someone, you're excited about it. You want to fix it. You want to put it all back together and make it a beautiful car. And then he realized something when he tried to fix Meagan, just like the car enthusiasts do. I can't find the parts to fix her. I can't find the parts to fix her, to make her beautiful again, to make her the woman that I want her to be. I can't find the parts. I've tried to fix her for 10 years. I've tried to tell her about the way she dressed in private. I tried to tell her about some of the scenes she does in movies that she doesn't have to do. I've tried to tell her about, even she said she doesn't even go to church. She said that she stopped going to church because people were holding her accountable. Oh, but you know what? I know you guys will think I'm lying. I know it. I know you guys think that I'm lying, and so I'm going to go ahead and pull that up too. It was on the reel. I'm going to show a little small clip of it because I don't want to get this flagged. But I want to show a small clip of what they said about Meagan. Right? Let me share this with you. Because she stopped going to church because people were holding her accountable. All right, here we go.
Our good friend Meagan Good was recently on D.L. Hughley's radio show and was asked if she still attends church with her husband, DeVon Franklin. Meagan revealed that while she still goes to church, she doesn't go as often due to the constant criticism she's received on things from how she dresses to sex scenes she's filmed. Meagan also went on to say while she still has love for people in church, sometimes she has to love them from a distance because her spirit is too sensitive. So, lady.
When you, and you know what? I used to be the guy that beat up women for how they dress and all this. Listen, women are grown. They're going to do what they want to do. It doesn't matter what the manosphere says. It doesn't matter what the man on the street says. It doesn't matter what the pastor says. Women have gotten to the point they've become so independent in their minds and so strong-minded. And so we are better than men and we are stronger than men. They've gotten to a point we're going to do what we're going to do. We're going to do what we want to do. But what we have to do is be accountable for the positions that we hold ourselves in. And for the women out there that are going to have some pushback on what I'm saying right now, think about your job. You would not go to your job representing your company. You would not go representing your company with some of the stuff that Meagan Good wears. She has taken the responsibility of being a pastor's wife. And if you've taken the responsibility of being a pastor's wife, you chose that position. You chose to be in a marriage with a man of God. You chose to sit on the front pew. And I'm not saying you got to wear the big hats and all this. You can be a modern woman and still dress modest in the presence of God's people. How is it that, tell me this, guys, how is it that DeVon Franklin can get up in front of a congregation and talk about the women and men being out of line and talk about women dressing modest and talk about women being a certain way? Now, she's an actress, right? So some things she does in her actress roles are okay, that's it, right? She's an actress, right? And some of that, we're going to get to that in a minute. But some of that is out of line. Some of that you have to bring it down, just like the Whitfield guy. I can't remember his first name. He's married to Sally Richardson. He said in movies and TV shows, he refuses to do sex scenes. He refuses to kiss because he feels it's a disrespect to his wife, Sally Richardson Whitfield. He says it's a disrespect to her. And he would never, never, never do that. And so there are people out here. So we're not going to say, oh, she's just acting. He should be understanding. No. There are actresses and actors out there right now. Denzel Washington is another one. Denzel, you've never seen a sex scene from Denzel Washington where he's humping a woman. He said that he feels it's disrespectful to his wife and what he believes in as from a religious standpoint. Can we talk about that? So if you choose to be a certain person, you can't go be the president of the United States and come out sagging pants with a hoodie on. You will be addressed how you dress. And the reason Meagan stopped going to church, the reason that she stopped going to church is because of the people see her out in public. Now, let's give her a benefit of the doubt. Okay, she's on the set of a movie. She has to dress whatever. But when you're out in public and you're the pastor's wife, you have to separate the two if that's what you're going to do. You have to separate the two. You can't be walking around. As the pastor's wife and going to premieres and going to different things, and you look like you should like you're not a pastor's wife. Case in point, this was at a premiere. This is at a premiere. This is not a movie scene. This is not anything like that. This is a premiere, right? This is a premiere. This is a pastor's wife. If you wouldn't disrespect your company and you wouldn't disrespect your managers and your bosses at work, because I have a problem with that with our black women. And because I always want to stay in our culture. I don't give a damn about the rest of the cultures. But our black women always say, well, women are sexually liberated and women can wear what they want to wear and do what they want to do. And we're not going to be controlled by the man's choice and what he believes. Okay. And those same women, I want you to go to them if they have jobs. I want you to go to them if they're in corporate America and ask them where they bun it to a job where they're a supervisor or where they're a CFO. Would they go into the job dressed like this? Would they go to the job presenting themselves like this in front of the white bosses? They would not, because they respect the bosses enough to adhere to policy. Where it is also the same as a pastor. You're the pastor of a church and your wife walks in with something on like this, because evidently she has been wearing some promiscuous things because of what they just said on the clip. They said that she does not go to church because of people saying how she dresses when she comes to church. If you're taking the position in the office of it, you knew when you married him that he was a pastor. But again, this video is not about Meagan. It'll go back around to her, but it's not solely about Meagan. DeVon Franklin, He is not a victim, and we are in the manosphere, and black men are not going to allow him to play victim even when he comes out, because the pressure bust pipes. She's going to get to talking in a minute. And he's going to have to defend the choice he made to divorce her because he filed for divorce. But me, in the manosphere is not going to allow DeVon Franklin to play the victim Olympics. We are not going to allow him to play the victim Olympics. Not. Because he knew what he was getting into. He knew exactly what he was getting into. So we're not going to allow him to play the victim Olympics. That's over. That's done with. It's not going to happen. Right? And so, getting back to the point that I'm making, because you knew that your wife was for the streets. You tried to clean her up. And a lot of men do that. And kudos to him. Kudos to him. But like I said last night in a stream last night, that in 1964, 65, Malcolm X did an interview, and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad told Malcolm X, do not speak on the things that are happening with John F. Kennedy and the assassination of John F. Kennedy. And so they asked him, how do you feel about this president being so well known and well loved being killed and being assassinated? Then the words came out of his mouth that stands clear to this day, even to this situation. Malcolm X says, he leaned into the microphone like I'm doing right now, and he said, the chickens have come home to roost. You cannot allow, let me bring it a little further in. All of us are fans of the Blade, right? Marvel's Blade, right? Everybody know who Blade is. Blade he was a vampire. We had to realize that Blade was a vampire. And Blade had all the vampire strengths, but none of their weakness. He was a day walker. He could walk around the day, did not melt, because his mom was human, his dad was a vampire, right? But then Whistler, if you're familiar with the movies, Whistler had this sedative that he would give Blade to fight his thirst for blood. And when he gave him this sedative to fight the blood, Blade would go into a fidget. He would go into a seizure almost, as the serum would try to work to try to fight against his thirst for blood. But when Blade didn't have that and Blade got weak, Blade had to consume blood to become stronger. Eventually, he said, the serum, I can't do the serum. I need that blood. I need what I truly am. I really want to be who I truly am. And Meagan is Blade in this situation. I've been for the streets. I've been around Hollywood. I've sexed a whole bunch of men. I've had this independent mindset, right? And DeVon came along and he was the sedative. But eventually, after 10 years, that sedative, she said, that sedative's not working anymore. I need to get out and do more. I need to be around new penis. I need to be around me and other men. I'm too young and fine and beautiful to just stay in a relationship with DeVon and he preaching every Sunday. I need to be able to loosen myself from this responsibility and the accountability of being a pastor's wife. I can't do it anymore, and I'm not going to do it anymore. That's what she's saying. But there's one more thing here, Your Honor, that I want to bring to the courts. One more thing here, Your Honor. This right here, when I said earlier about the young man, I gotta look his name up so you guys can know who he is. Matter of fact, I'll look it up right now. Sally Richardson Whitfield, there she is. Her spouse is DeAndre. There we go. DeAndre Whitfield. DeAndre Whitfield says he's an actor. You've probably seen him on Queen Sugar. You've probably seen him on all the ABC networks stuff, especially on Hallmark for Christmas. He's a well-known actor. He's been around for years, decades, acting in the acting game. And one of the things he said when he married Sally Richardson, because she's very beautiful and a beautiful woman, very classy woman, he said that he promised her that he would never do sex scenes. Neither would he ever put his lips on another woman's lips. So the writers and directors have to go around that, right? They have to maneuver around that because he does have scenes where they're supposed to kiss, but you never see him kiss a female. You never see him in the bed with a female because he has too much respect for his wife. And the producers and directors of the TV shows or movies that he's in, they respect that and they don't put him in those situations. Meagan could be the same way, but she's not choosing to do that. What Meagan is choosing to do, I'm going to turn my camera off so you guys can see this. What Meagan is choosing to do is this right here. Let me get her up here. This is what Meagan is choosing to do. Let me get y'all look at this. Take a look at that. That's what Meagan is choosing to do. These are the scenes that she's put herself in the position to do. This is a scene from Harlem, I think it is. The name of the show on Amazon Prime. I was 10 minutes in and I said, oh, this ain't gonna work. I'm not gonna be able to watch it. I can't support this. I can't support it. These are when the movie first came on. I want you guys to look at this scene. Just look at this scene. But when it first, I'm gonna walk you down the path if you haven't watched it. When it first came on, they talked about a tribe of women. And in that tribe of women, those women would be with men, control men, take over men, be independent over men. And when they're tired of men and being married to men, they could just throw them away and get them another man. This is the concept of this. This is how the show started. And then Meagan meets this guy, and look at the man. I mean, come on, guys. That's a show. That's a whole nother show within itself. Look at him. Look at him. Look at this. But this is a scene, and people will say, "Well, she's just acting. She's just acting. What are you talking about? She's just acting. She's not doing anything wrong. She's acting. Is she? Because look at this. Your head down between a man's legs and his balls in your face, whether you're acting or not. And now you got to get up after this scene, and people can watch this on Amazon, because Amazon put all the episodes out there. After they watch this, they go to church the next day and she sit on the front pew. Not being judgmental, but you chose to do that. And that's why DeVon has gotten tired, and he said, I'm done. But DeVon, you ain't no victim, homie. DeVon, you ain't no victim. And we're not about to sit up here and let you be the victim. You knew what you chose, and you deal with your choices. You are responsible for your choices. The chickens have come home to roost. This has been Black Men Unfiltered on my take of the Meagan Good and DeVon Franklin divorce. Please hit the subscribe button and like button, and please share this content. We have a goal here, and my goal is to be greater and better every day with my content and taking the time out to give you guys more content like this. So, guys, I appreciate the people that do come in and are faithful to the channel, and the people that come in and sneak in and peek. I'm grateful for you as well. I'm grateful for the haters because you guys continue to boost the channel. And I'm grateful for the supporters because you guys continue to support the channel. So this has been Black Men Unfiltered. I appreciate you all. I love you all. Until next time,